In this video, we'll cover component scanning with Spring. Spring will scan your Java classes for special annotations such as component, and it'll automatically register the beans in the Spring container. Let's look at some Java source code here. So in our project, we currently have this Spring Core Demo application. That's our main Spring Boot application class that was created by the Spring Initializer. We also have our REST controller that we created in an earlier video called Demo Controller. Now, in that Spring Core Demo application, the one that was created by the Spring Initializer, note here that it doesn't import on Spring Boot application. So this enables auto configuration, component scanning, and additional configuration with Spring Boot. And really behind the scenes, this annotation is composed of the following annotations: enable auto configuration, component scan, and configuration. So a bit more here on these annotations. The Spring Boot application is composed of the following annotations. Enable auto configuration enables Spring Boot's auto configuration support. Component scan enables component scanning of the current package and also recursively scans the sub-packages. And the configuration annotation is able to register extra beans with the bean annotation or import other configuration classes. I'll show you some examples of the configuration annotation a bit later in the course. And now back to our Java source code. So we know the information here about the Spring Boot application. Next, we have this Spring application. And so this allows us to bootstrap our Spring Boot application. And then we give a reference here to the actual name of our class, in this case, Spring Core Demo application. So behind the scenes, this will create the application context, register all the beans, and also start the embedded server such as Tomcat, etc. By default. Now, a bit more here on component scanning. By default, Spring Boot starts component scanning from the same package as your main Spring Boot application, and also it scans the sub-packages recursively. This implicitly defines a base search package that you can make use of, so it allows you to leverage default component scanning without having to explicitly referencing the base package name. So here's a diagram to kind of pull this together. We have our main Spring Boot application class. It automatically component scans the package and sub-packages. We can create any other sub-packages that we want. We can give these sub-packages any name. And then it scans everything in core love2code.spring core demo package and any sub-packages. So basically it starts scanning at the main Spring Boot application class level and then all sub-packages underneath that. Now, a common pitfall when you're making use of Spring Boot, you may say, hey, I'm going to use different packages and move things around and change things up or whatever. Here's an example. So we have our Spring Core Demo. That's the package of our main Spring Boot application class. Then you may create other packages outside of that. So using this example here of demo utils, notice here that it's outside of our Spring Core Demo. And so by default, Spring Boot will not component scan these packages. It'll only scan the package of the main Spring Boot application class and sub packages. So this is very important. So the default scanning works fine if everything is under com love2code Spring Core Demo. Well, what about my other packages? Like I want to use some different names or whatever, like com.love2code.util or org.acme.cart or edu.cmu.spiritracingsystems. How will this kind of work out, or how can I configure this accordingly? Well, what you can do is in your Spring Boot application annotation, then you can tell it to scan base packages. So here I'm going to explicitly list the base packages to scan. And you simply give a comma delimited list of those packages that you want Spring Boot to scan. So give our com love2code Spring Core Demo, and then love2code.util, org.acme.cart, edu.cmu.srs. All right, so this is all really good stuff. We're going to move into the next video. We're going to write the code. I'll show you how to make use of default scanning, and also I'll show you how to manually list the actual package scanning. I'll see ya in the next video.